Hey, what is going on, good kind people? Lee Sanders here. You're checking out a special edition of Impact Showdown, covering all things Impact Wrestling, and we are here definitely talking about some Impact Wrestling fallout from their Impact Plus event that streamed earlier tonight. It just went off not that long ago, about maybe 25 minutes ago at the time that we are doing this show right now. Under Siege. If you weren't able to check it out, don't worry. We definitely got your hookup. So we're definitely going to be talking about it. Probably try to see if we could trickle in there a little bit of Impact Wrestling news since last we were on the air with you guys. So essentially, for those of you that's been kind of, oh, I miss Impact Showdown. Can I get another Impact Showdown? This is your Impact Showdown. So welcome to you all. Busy weekend. I told you guys this was a crazy week as far as pro wrestling goes. And man, a little bit of something for everybody depending on what your cup of tea is. Hey, before I dive any further into the show, whether you're checking this out live or you're going to be checking this out on demand, I'm not so much concerned about the audio, because audio I can always go back and I can do what I need to do to clean it up. But for those of you that's particularly tuning in live, let me know how the audio sounds. Only reason why I'm asking that is because unfortunately I had spilt a decent amount of water the other night, and it was shortly after we went off the air. And sadly, my mixer was right here when I spilled the water, and a little bit had got in the mixer. And it seemed as though everything was okay last night. It seemed as though I dodged a bullet. However, upon checking things out about, half hour before I went live on here, I noticed that I was getting a lot of reverb in one of the channel outputs. And so I tried to do a little switching around here and there. Was still kind of getting it. So finally, I just said, okay, well, let me just kind of mute this entirely, because it was making a weird screeching sound, something that's never happened before. So at some point, I'm going to have somebody check out this mixer. It's either that or get a brand new one. I don't know about you all. I'm not really looking forward to getting a whole brand new one. So maybe trying to see if I can get a replacement would work. But I think I'm okay. We'll see how it goes. But let me know how everything is sounding here. So shout out to those of you that were hanging out with me during the Under Siege event. I had a nice little small viewing party, and we all were just kicking back into Discord, cutting it up, while we were checking out the event and everything. And, the event was okay. Overall, I would have to say one thing that was on our minds was the fact that Impact Wrestling, it seems every time you turn around, the number of the events, pay-per-view events that they're doing, it just kind of seems as though every single weekend, it seems like something is maybe always going on and everything. And yeah, you can kind of look at that and you may say for some of us, y'all are kind of exaggerating a little bit. But no, as of late, it's really been feeling as though we've been getting 2 pay-per-views from them every month. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes, especially if it lands on a particular week where there's a lot of stuff going on in the world of wrestling and everything, especially when somebody's trying to do their own respected pay-per-view and this other promotion is doing a pay-per-view and you're just spasming out because you're trying to, I don't know which way to go. But, it does kind of feel sometimes that it's a little bit taxing. It really does. And look, I be that same guy that will also say, hey, not for nothing, but what's fair is fair, right? I be that same guy that says, okay, we got the AEW Elevation, we got the AEW Dark, we got the AEW Dynamite. And, but at least you can say when it comes to their pay-per-views, at least you can say, for the most part, seems like they come at us every 3 months or something of that nature with a pay-per-view, or every other month or something along those lines. So at least you can give AEW that exit and everything. I don't know. You could make the argument Impact Wrestling is trying to do everything that they can to try to generate some type of revenue and try to make up for the fact that they aren't performing in front of live fans right now, which should be changing shortly. I'm just hoping that as far as in the long haul, I just hope that as far as doing 2 things a month, it'd be one thing if we were getting these Impact Plus events and we're getting them every month, totally down with that. And when it came to the pay-per-views for Impact, we were getting the pay-per-views, if not every other month, maybe every, once every quarter or something along those lines. But that's not how it's been going as of late. So I'm curious to see, now that we've got the CDC saying what they're saying, I'm very curious to see how promotions such as Impact is going to take that information and what's going to happen overall. Some of us are actually kind of hoping that things kind of scale back a little bit as far as the Impact Plus events. Not really the pay-per-views, more so the Impact Plus events. But I would say it was a bit of an average event overall that we had got tonight. On that note, welcome officially to your Impact Wrestling Under Siege post-show. Let's go there. As far as pre-show matches go, doesn't look like there was any. I could be mistaken, but it does not look like there was any pre-show matchups. So the actual card, Brian Myers taking on I call him Black Taurus. I know they like to pronounce it that nice little fancy way. I ain't quite there just yet. Good opener, good quality matchup. Myers really rising to the occasion. Really both men brought out the best in each other in this one. I personally felt 2 really good mid-card guys. Honestly, 2 really good mid-card guys. Myers picking up the W when, without the referee looking, he did a thumb to the eyes of Black Taurus and he followed it up with the roster cut to pick up the dub. But pretty good. I told you guys off and on over the past couple of weeks now on Impact Showdown that with regards to Black Taurus being in Decay, I really think that's been a great addition for the stable. I feel it's a nice little compliment for the Monster Abyss. Now, notice I said compliment. I didn't say replacement. There's no replacing the Monster Abyss. There just isn't. So we can pretty much forget about that right now. But as far as a nice complimentary, he's not available, but we got this guy. Black Taurus has been filling the role pretty good. And I love the fact that the way he's been operating in Impact thus far, I mean, he's pretty much just going in there. He's not talking. He's grunting, snorting, and all that other good crap, and he's just getting in that ring, and he's just tearing it up. I mean, with the best of them. So, but a good quality matchup. Nope. It looks like my light source had went out here. I can multitask. See, I'm the king of multitasking. I can just, we don't miss a beat. See, just like that. We don't miss a beat. Anyway, good quality matchup, though. Good opener, really setting the tone for the Under Siege event here. They didn't go too long. It wasn't too long-winded of a match. Just right. Tennille Dashwood and Taylor Wilde taking on Kimber Lee and Susan. Nice, quick little match. not really much you can say about this one. What really this was all about was further advancing the story arc that's going on, particularly with Tennille Dashwood and Taylor Wilde. Remember, Taylor Wilde, she made her return to Impact not that long ago, and everything. We're going over the Impact card right now for those of you that maybe don't want to, you know, check this out live and you kind of want one of those guys. Here's what happened on Impact tonight. Moose beat. This person beat. This person beat. This person beat. And this person beat. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. We're not doing that. So if you guys are a little bit impatient, because I know right now it's a little bit late over here on the East Coast. It's like about 11:30 at night. If you guys can't wait, maybe go check out your favorite dirt sheet website and you can get the quick results that way. But for those particularly that like the order in which I go about talking about the pay-per-view, we're going to do it just like that. I do see what you guys are saying in the chat, by the way. So welcome to those of you that maybe want to interact. Next up, though, we're talking about that tag match. For me, the Tennille Dashwood, Taylor Wilde, Susan, Kimberly, for me, it was really just all about further advancing the story arc that's going on since Tennille Dashwood's been kind of pestering Taylor Wilde, join forces with her and everything. Taylor Wilde just coming back to Impact Wrestling not that long ago. Still, finding her footing and everything. For somebody that's been retired from the wrestling industry for a couple of years now, I gotta say, she hasn't missed a beat. She really hasn't. She's aged pretty well, too, I gotta say. She's actually aged pretty damn good. Ref got distracted. Closing moments of this one by Kimber, as Caleb, with a K, had pretty much did a damn insecurity in the Susan from the outside that pretty much allowed Taylor to connect with a German suplex, picking up the dub. That Caleb with a K, I'm just looking at this guy and I'm going, man, he actually kind of got physical with the ladies here. He needs to get his just due. What the hell here, man? Like seriously. So I'm serious. He needs to get his just due. Seriously. Always messing around, poking his nose in people's business that he's got no business poking his nose into there, man. But Kimberly, by the way, can I just compliment her real quick? She is a beauty. She really, really is. She is a beauty. I've been a fan of her work in the ring for some years now. I want to say we did actually. We interviewed her many years ago. I'm trying to remember exactly what she was doing around the time that we had interviewed her, and I couldn't tell you. As I get up there in age, some things I can remember pretty clearly, no problem. Other stuff, I actually have to look stuff up online or check my journal and all of that. So I honestly couldn't tell you what that was about, but I've been a fan of her work for a good while now. All four of these ladies, their chemistry was pretty good in this matchup. I wish I could go on and on about this particular match, but it was a pretty quick match. If you were to tell me these girls were at it for about 4 minutes, I would say that actually sounds about right, honestly. But again, this was all about further advancing the story arc, particularly for Taylor Wilde, Tennille Dashwood. Can Taylor Wilde trust Tennille? It really kind of seems as though Tennille, the way we've been seeing Tennille and Impact so far, Tennille has had, as far as interests go, her own personal interests and nobody else's. So, you're kind of looking at everything that's been happening thus far. You go, what exactly is Tennille Dashwood's end game? Right? Is this all about her just trying to, place herself somewhere in a really good position on the Impact roster? What is this about exactly? Is she particularly trying to go after tag team gold? What exactly going on? Impact Tag titles, number one contenders, Ace Austin, Madman Fulton, Petey Williams, TJP, Rohit Raju, Mahabala Shira, Triple XL. These teams facing each other in this Impact Tag Title number one contenders. By the way, as far as how I did with my picks, because remember, we were just here less than 24 hours ago, and I did offer Impact Under Siege picks. I pretty much was just boom, 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 boom when it came to the picks. I did overall pretty good. Just kind of looking at the card real quick here. There was actually a couple I had missed, but overall not too shabby. Overall, I think I probably missed about maybe 3 matches. So, I mean, that's not really too bad. Tag team of Ace Austin, Madman Fulton picked up the dub. I definitely messed up on this one because remember, originally I was eyeballing Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, but then I switched it up and said, now, you know what? Rohit Raju and Mahalala Shari, they've been kind of, for me, I felt Rohit Raju, he was on the roll when he was the X Division champion and everything. And not to mention, ever since he kind of formed that alliance and brought in Mahabala Shari, I felt as though, okay, well, ever since he's brought him in, they've just been kind of here and there, but they haven't really been a focal point on episodes of Impact Wrestling. So that's what I was thinking about when I was going over my picks on Friday's show, and that's why I went with this team. But the fact that they went with Ace Austin, Madman Fulton, honestly, I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. No problem with that whatsoever, especially since it basically means that we've got this heel tag team and Austin and Fulton that's basically going to be chasing after Finn Juice for the Impact tag titles. Okay, I'm down with that because the way it's been coming off, unless you guys tell me differently, at least in the Impact universe, Finn Juice is basically a face tag team. So I think it's going to be pretty good to see those teams play off of each other and everything. I'm ultimately hoping that Ace Austin, Madman Fulton are going to come away as the new Impact Tag Champions. And if you got to have a baby tag team, chase after them for a little bit, trying to get those tag titles back. Personally, I wouldn't mind Finn Juice being one of those teams to go after them. Honestly, I wouldn't. Or you can give me Willie Mack and Rich Swann. Just something to think about. But Impact's got plenty of options that they can go in there with. They got plenty of options. Good matchup, though. Everybody got an opportunity to do their thing, showcase their stuff and everything. Loved it. Next matchup, W. Morrissey, Cass XL, Big Cass, taking on Willie Mack. Man, my man Morrissey just looked like a behemoth monster. And when you're looking at Willie Mack, you're just going, oh, poor little tiny old Willie Mack. I mean, compared, I was about to call him Kaz, but compared to Morrissey, Willie Mack just looked like a little small fly, and Morrissey was just swatting it. I mean, it looked so one-sided, but I actually appreciated the way that this match was booked because you know what it kind of reminded me of a little bit? I don't know how many of you all are comic book fans out there, but if you check me out enough, you've been checking out the show a decent amount over the years, particularly, you know how much of a big comic book fan I am. It almost, the way this fight kind of went about, it almost had a Wolverine Sabretooth vibe. And you all know in the comics that Sabretooth has such significant height and length advantage over Wolverine, but Wolverine, he ain't intimidated whatsoever. I mean, he's like, okay, we're gonna do this, and he busting out them adamantium claws, and he's just charging at a motherfucker. He don't care how big, he don't care how wide, he gonna get him some. And Willie Mack, I just love the way this match was booked because Willie Mack he stayed pouncing on W. Morrissey, and I thought that was the right type of tone to set here. You know, obviously Mac is at a serious height disadvantage, definitely at the weight disadvantage, and he's a big boy, right? He's a big boy and everything. So I actually like the way this match was booked. You know, really showing on full display that gusto, that guts that Willie Mack has and everything. It was okay how it was booked, but the match was definitely long-winded because let's be 100 here. Morrissey pretty much was dominating on Willie Mack. And every time you're like, oh man, look at that nasty boot to the freaking face. Oh, he did the trademark elbows that he used to do in WWE that y'all remember, by the way. I'm talking about Morrissey, Cass. Yeah, he did those trademark, kind of, continuous elbows that he used to do. He was doing that, but like every time you turned around and you kept thinking that the match was over, that's it. Willie Mack is done. Ref is counting the one, he's counting the two, but then Morrissey just stops and he's going in for more. He wants to beat up Willie Mack some more. I just thought they were a bit over exaggerating with Morrissey. I didn't really particularly care for that whatsoever. It definitely did not make me feel sympathetic towards Willie Mack when I saw Morrissey continue to beat the crap out of him, cover, and then change my mind. I want to beat you up some more. It didn't make me feel sympathetic whatsoever, right? So that was kind of, but Mac, the way he was booked in this, I mean, he came off pretty damn good as a babyface. The losses for Willie Mack, it's really been adding up as of late, and I just can't kind of help but wonder. I mean, hey, look, that's great. The brother's getting TV time and all that, but I can't help but say, okay, well, we kind of have to tread a little bit lightly here because we don't want to get to that point when Willie Mack comes out. Yeah, we know he's phenomenal and all this other stuff, but we don't need it being a case where he's literally the black, what's the right word? The black Dolph Ziggler. You know that one, right? Every time we see Dolph Ziggler, we pretty much go, oh, yeah, well, he's gonna job to somebody, and usually we're pretty on the spot about that. We're pretty on the spot about that. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. Interesting, by the way, quick sidebar, kind of interesting here because I'm checking out the stream right now, and it's interesting because there was actually one comment that came in, and that's what I was responding to earlier. And for some weird reason, I'm showing that you guys are not seeing that comment. So could y'all just bear with me a second and we'll get into the rest of the card. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the show so far, do me a huge favor. Make sure you hit that like button, click on the subscribe button, and click on that bell notification so you don't miss out on future content that's coming your way on a regular basis here, right? But definitely, if you don't feel like subscribing, that's cool. But make sure you definitely hit the like button because that pretty much lets YouTube know that you recommend the content, especially, show some love because Impact doesn't get as much love as it used to. And there's a lot of things that they're doing right, but there's definitely some things that they're doing wrong as well. But for the most part, the product overall, the product is pretty good. It's pretty good, honestly. All right, so I'm actually on the YouTube channel right now, so I just want to look at what you guys are seeing during the stream right now. Like I can see the thumbnail and all that. That's good. Hang on. Shut up a second here. And it's still loading up. Give me a second here, guys. Are seeing during the stream right. Yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting because, yeah, the comments not popping up. I don't know what the hell is up with that, but it is what it is. One other thing I want to do real quick here. There we go. Now we're good. Okay, let's continue on. So we talked about some of those matches so far. I think they had about maybe 6, 7 matches total here. Next matchup, the Impact Knockouts Tag Team titles. Fire and Flavor taking on the champions Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering. We got new tag teams. Fire and Flav got the tag titles back. Wow. Is what I gotta say right here. Wow. Me personally, if you go back, we did a Rebellion post show. If you go back, remember what I had said on that show, which was, okay, you know what? I'm okay if we're going to have Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering be the new Knockouts tag champions. However, I got a bone to pick, which is, okay, this was Rachel Ellering making her Impact debut and everything. Don't you think it would have made more sense that they lost, Fire and Flav retains, and Jordan Grace, Rachel Ellering, they just continue to chase after Fire and Flav? That respected new tag team of Grace Ellering continues to be built up. And that way, you have some really good baby faces chasing after a pretty damn good tag team in Fire and Flavor. And then you do your whole payoff and everything. That was my whole argument from the Rebellion post show. I did try to be devil's advocate a little bit and say at the same time, in defense of Impact, okay, well, you have this Rachel Ellering person come in, and wow, she was pretty much able to do what the team of Grace and Jazz were not able to do. And that's kind of one of those, so you got the shock. You've got the, who is this girl? For people that, don't know who Rachel Ellering is and everything, you've got that curiosity that's in the air and all that, and you can pretty much try to capitalize on it that way. And remember how I ended it? I pretty much had said Impact Wrestling is in a really good position because, it would have been nice had they went with, let them continue to chase after Kiera Hogan, Tasha Steelz, but they went with this direction instead. So, but, now we've got Hogan and Steelz as the Knockouts tag champions once again. And, honestly, I'm okay with that. It pretty shocking. It definitely, as far as, wow, I didn't see that coming. This was definitely a shocker. And, I got to give Impact Wrestling a lot of credit. One trend I've been noticing when it comes to these Impact Plus events is the fact that, there used to be a time when they were doing these Impact Plus events. It was just basically, it felt like it was just a quota to fill. You understand what I'm saying? It just felt like Impact was just doing something just to fill that quota for the month. And that basically was it. If you didn't watch it, you didn't miss nothing. There was nothing significant, nothing substantial of greatness that, you had to go out of your way and you had to check this out because, yeah. But the fact that they, as of late, now they're doing these things where if you're not watching these Impact Plus events, stuff like what I just described, that goes down. And so you're watching the next episode of Impact, and you're, hey, what happened? What the hell? Now you've got that, oh man, well, maybe I should start watching some of these joints. It was kind of cool seeing some of the people comment when we were doing our live hangout and everything while watching the event, chatting it up and everything earlier tonight, because some people, it was their first time. For some people in our little group chat, it was their first time watching the Impact product in months, and they pretty much were like, man, this is a pretty good event. I'm definitely going to watch Impact coming up this week. And, another person, wow, this was pretty good. I think I'm going to start checking out the pay-per-views from now on. This was actually a pretty good show, yeah, cool. Yeah, so for a lot of these people, this was their first time seeing a lot of these faces that, they've never seen before. A lot of people were ranting and raving about Fire and Flavor. They loved, in my little group, they love Fire and Flavor. And this was a really good match as well. I mean, Fire and Flavor, they're just continuing to establish themselves as one of the best top heel tag teams in the business right now. I mean that's got to be the one tag team that I look at right now that can even give some of the men tag teams stretched across in other promotions a good run for their money and everything. Also home in on this. Let's talk about the closing moments of this matchup, because Impact Bookers did a really great job in further expanding the storyline here, particularly around Jordan Grace. So in the final moments of this matchup, Kiera Hogan connected with Sliced Bread outside the ring on Rachel Ellering. Jordan Grace, she's trying to attempt the Grace driver, but Tasha Steelz manages to get to the top rope. Jordan gets dropped. I think she got hit by a frog splash as well. Lost the titles. So that's how Fire and Flavor became your new two-time Knockouts Tag Champions. Now, home in on the story arc there around Jordan Grace. Remember, Jordan Grace, when she was with Jazz, look at that. Look at how, it kind of seemed as though maybe Jazz was possibly the weak one. You could definitely make that argument that maybe it was Jazz because she was kind of getting up there in age and, and all of that. But now you got Jazz, who essentially comes back as a manager to not only manage Jordan Grace, but had a huge hand in getting a really good tag partner for Jordan. Somebody definitely younger, could keep up with Jordan and all this good stuff in Rachel Ellering. But now the fact that Jordan Grace was the one that essentially could not get the job done. And think about the story arc that was building up over episodes of Impact leading into tonight, where Fire and Flavor were putting that thought in Jordan Grace's head, like, okay, y'all wouldn't even be tag team champions right now if it wasn't for your girl Rachel Ellering. Like, we'll give Rachel Ellering her props, but we ain't tripping over you. We know we got your number. All right, so we ain't tripping over you. So, they kind of validated that point tonight. So now you kind of have this interesting angle in the air right here, which is, for all that brute strength, for all that, the great physical specimen that Jordan Grace is and everything, now you can't help but wonder, okay, so yeah, what exactly is up with Jordan Grace here? Is Jordan Grace the weakest link here? What's up? So I'm curious to see the fallout from this and how Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering are maybe going to try to get back on the same page and everything. And I tell you, Impact's in a really good position right here, booking wise. There's a couple of different directions they could go with this, but originally, and I didn't get it. I didn't get my wish. Originally, I wanted to see so bad a heel Jordan Grace turn on Jazz, because they just kept coming up short, and I was looking for Jordan Grace to just let out that anger and frustration on Jazz, and I just felt that really would have been a nice solid storyline there. But instead, we saw how that ultimately paid off. Nothing happened, and Jazz has the retirement match against Jordan Grace, and not Jordan Grace, Deonna Purrazzo, and the rest is history. So, with this one, I can't help but wonder, because, like I said, Impact's in a really good position right here. On the one hand, we could ultimately go in a direction where Jordan Grace is betrayed by Rachel Ellering and Jazz. I mean, it's right there for the taking. I mean, if you ask me honestly, Rachel Ellering, she seems okay as a baby face, but I'm looking at her and I'm just going, nah, man, you got some mad swag that's going on. You look like you could talk some good trash. You look like you're a good trash talker. She just kind of seems like she maybe would be better. And we know who her dad is, so come on. So, I don't know. I might be onto something, but, You can just see that down the road where Rachel Ellering is maybe having a heart to heart with Jazz. Look, I didn't come in here to be losing, da 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 da. Put Jazz in a difficult position, right? But I could ultimately see Jazz, Rachel Ellering turning their back on Jordan Grace. They're the heels, and Jordan Grace is essentially chasing after them. I could definitely see that. Definitely. Definitely would make more sense to go at this point if you're kind of, okay, let's follow this story arc. So they're in a good position there. Could you maybe still go with a heel Jordan Grace? A Jordan Grace that just freaking snaps and all that. You could ultimately go with a heel Jordan Grace, that just can't take the losing like a pro, and she just fucking snaps. And yeah, you could definitely go there. While Jazz is still in there, you could definitely do some stuff where she gets physical with Jazz. She's retired now and all that in the Impact world. There's a lot of different directions Impact can definitely go here. But of all the matches tonight on this card, this definitely gets my number one. Good match, great match. Impact X Division Championship, Il Fantasmo taking on the champion in Josh Alexander. This was another one that was pretty damn entertaining from start to finish. I am continuing to be very impressed by the work of Il Fantasmo. I am not bullshitting you guys. I am a relatively newcomer to this man. I don't check out New Japan Pro Wrestling as religiously as some of you guys do. I only know pretty much, what I may read online or somebody may say to me within conversation or whatever. But great matchup between these two guys from start to finish. Got to take my hats off to both of them representing the X Division pretty well. Very entertained by this one. Josh Alexander continuing on as your X Division champion here. And ELP, the ELP, he's good. He's good. Good memorable match. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing these two continue to lock up again. Nothing but praise for these guys. I would say of the entire card, this was my second favorite matchup of the night. Impact Knockouts Championship, Havok taking on the champion, Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna, she's been winning me over these past couple of months. Remember, I was doing the whole Jerry Seinfeld. Remember? I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. I already did one Jerry Seinfeld impression the other night. I'm not gonna bore you guys with another one. But she's continuing to be a delight to watch in the ring. I mean, she's really been living up now to the virtuoso gimmick and everything. So from that standpoint, no problem in regards to this matchup. But I didn't really feel as though there was enough substance in this one. I really did not. I can't quite put my finger on this one. It was a decent match, but there was something about this match that felt a bit off. And I'm not exactly sure what it was. Maybe, if you were to pick my brain a little bit, I've watched the career of Havok for a decent amount of years now. And normally when Havok is in the ring, my girl's in there and literally, she's living up to the freaking name. If you're gonna beat her ass, bring yourself a big old lunch bag. Pack some extra sandwiches because it's going to be a long day for your ass at the office. And this one, it just... I just felt the way the match was kind of booked. It felt more as though Havok was playing down too much to Deonna Purrazzo. I didn't really like that. If you were to ask me, well, how exactly were you expecting the match to go and everything? I was expecting, look at Havok. That's a big girl. And I say that with all due respect. I love my big women. I love a little meat on my women's, put some meat on them bones. It's all good. But no, like seriously, she's got the height, she's got the width, and I was just picturing Deonna Purrazzo just, out the gate, maybe trying to do a little something like I mentioned earlier with Willie Mack when he was taking on W. Morrissey, but you know, she's she's at a disadvantage because the amount of weight that she's lacking against Havok. All right, so how is Deanna gonna make up for that? Okay, well, maybe she's gonna try. How can you? Like seriously, how can you? Because Havok has these, thick legs that could probably just, crush the hell out of you, right? So what are you gonna do? How exactly are you gonna, do you maybe try to go for the kneecaps? I mean, that's some good strategy right there. Do like some running drop kicks, but try to connect on that knee, right? Maybe try to chop at the knee or behind the ankle. Maybe you could do some stuff like that. I was kind of looking for stuff like that where Deonna Purrazzo was cutting her opponent down to size, and really it's all about the speed game for Deonna. And I didn't exactly see that in this matchup. It was just, and then even at the times when Deonna Purrazzo was trying to put on the submission game, and the fact that Havok, it's like, okay, she's got, you know, I mean, her legs, when you look at her body, and I'm not making fun of her, but when you look at Havok, the first thing you notice, wow, she's got some pretty thick legs. Okay. So if you're in a fight, you're probably like, yeah, I'm not going for that. So, you're either going for the kneecaps, you're going for the face. The arms, they're not as big as the legs, but I guess you could try to do something with the arms, right? But I was expecting for Havok to just continue to power out, and it's like, nah, you ain't getting that on me. So I had a hard time really getting into this match, despite the overall performance that was particularly coming from Deonna Purrazzo. And I saw this like about, I would say, maybe 2 minutes going into this match. It was okay. We're really trying to tell the story of, wow, just how awesome Deonna Purrazzo is, because look at how she's pretty much taking it to Havok here. I saw it within 2 minutes, and I was just able to kind of sit back and, okay, it's obvious how the finish to this match is going to go down, basically. But and Havok losing via submission, yeah, dog, I didn't particularly care for that. I didn't particularly care for that. Decent match, but was missing so much substance. It really, really was missing a lot, big time. Let's see. Next up, 6-man tag team match. Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers taking on Eddie Edwards and Finn Juice. To each its own. I know that there are a lot of Eddie Edwards fans, and they love any and everything Eddie Edwards. I know that there's Good Brothers fans out there. I know for the AEW guys, mad New Japan fans, mad love for the Good Brothers, mad love for Kenny Omega, and everything. But this particular tag team match, didn't particularly care for. Of all the matches that was on this card tonight, this is actually the one match that I would have been okay without it. Honestly, no bullshit. I would have been okay without it. Kind of brings me back to a point. Shout out to Sean. Sean had made in the chat, which was, is Kenny Omega defending the title tonight? And it was like, no, he's just doing this 6-man tag thing. And we all kind of, it is kind of silly, isn't it? We're watching this Impact event, and Kenny's not defending the Impact title here on this event, yet we're doing this 6-man tag match. Like, that doesn't quite make any sense, right? But no, for me, this match did nothing for me whatsoever. This match particularly made me feel as though I was watching the main event for Impact Television. It's your main event for Raw. It didn't exactly feel like I was watching a these aren't exactly pay-per-views, are they? Because it's not like you can order them through your local cable satellite provider. I mean, usually the way you can watch these Impact Plus events, you either have the Impact Plus app, and you got a subscription, or you're actually on their Twitch stream, and you're watching it live. And you can pretty much watch it live for free that way. If you miss it during the initial live airing, then you're pretty much screwed. You'll have to pay for it basically. But now it just it was just kind of one of those type of deals. I continue to be how I was when it came particularly to Finn Juice. I know earlier I had said, hey, babyface tag team and Finn Juice, they're going to have Madman Fulton, Ace Austin chasing after them for the tag titles. If Ace Austin, Madman Fulton were to pick up the titles off of them, I did say one of the tag teams you could have chase after them is Finn Juice. I actually think that would be a pretty good program. I do. Where I see Finn Juice lacking right now, personality. And it's funny because it's literally the same thing that I was noticing with Juice Robinson back when he was in the WWE. Now, again, I've seen no takers. I put a challenge out there to people. Hey, convince me otherwise. Show me some stuff from New Japan. Convince me otherwise, and I'll gladly. And I've yet to have any takers. So, yeah, that invitation still stands for those of you that want to try to convince me otherwise. And Good Brothers, look, Good Brothers make that money. Make that money, Good Brothers. But, Good Brothers, what type of Good Brothers are you going to get? Are you going to get the Good Brothers that's, pretty much just doing the bare minimum? Are you going to get the Good Brothers that's going to go in and they're going to do, they're going to try to put on a little something? Or are you going to get the Good Brothers that, nah, man, we want to go out there and we want to fucking entertain. We want to have people talking about this fucking match. And they've pretty much just been on cruise control. They've been on cruise control for a good minute. No bullshit. They've been on cruise control for a good. I wish you, me, and everybody else in the world could be on that type of a good cruise control and get mad coin. Seriously. Let me look here. Team of Eddie Edwards, Finn Juice picking up the win. I like how Kenny Omega was not the one to get pinned. I like how Kenny Omega was not the one to be submitted. I like that because the person that was defeated, it was Eddie Edwards that pretty much did a Boston Knee Party strike to Carl Anderson. Did it sweet to the face. Just, it was pretty. Pick up the dub for his team and all that. I gotta say, I was a little bit taken back by the fact that Eddie Kingston and Finn Juice had picked up the win because I was actually expecting for Madman Fulton and Ace Austin to come out and essentially rub it in Finn Juice's face that they're the number one tag contenders. Finn Juice, your days are numbered. I was anticipating a little bit of trash talking that was maybe going to be going down. And somehow the team of Good Brothers and Kenny Omega would pick up the dub, especially given the fact that we got the main event match, which will see the new number one contender to face Kenny Omega for the Impact title and everything. But the fact that the script got flipped and it went with Eddie Edwards and Finn Juice, totally unexpected. 6-way number one contenders match. Sami Callihan taking on Chris Bay, Matt Cardona, Trey Miguel, Chris Sabin, Moose. 6-way number one contenders match. Winner of this becomes the new number one contender to face Kenny Omega for the Impact World Championship. And our winner of that bad boy, Moose. 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 Good shit. Good shit. Good main event match. This really could have gone either way. It really could have. I mean, you had some damn good names involved in this one. Damn good names. I think at this point it was just a case of, okay, well, who is like legit believable that could definitely be a threat to Kenny Omega and his championship run, like out of this. And you're just looking at these names, you're going, well, man, any one of these guys could possibly fucking do this. So the fact that they went in the direction of Moose, interesting, but not without controversy. There was controversy involved in this, because look at some of the promos leading up to this match where Sami Callihan was saying with great conviction and passion that he was going to win this match and that Kenny Omega's days as Impact Champion was over. And you didn't really see it, Now, granted, I think I missed this past Thursday's Impact Wrestling. I'm pretty sure I did. So I don't know if Don Callis and them had some choice words for Sami Callihan, but I got to tell you, watching this event tonight, I was quite surprised at how Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, the Big LG, came out and they pretty much got physical with Sami Callihan. And you're hearing D'Lo Brown and Matt Striker, they're saying, wow, is this a calculated move by Don Callis and crew, by Kenny Omega and crew? Because after all, Sami Callihan did say he was coming after the championship, and by any means. And do you think by this move, of all the people, they look at Sami Callihan as the legit threat? And when I heard that tonight, I couldn't help but say that's a poor, miscalculated move, because if there was ever a significant threat, it would actually be freaking Moose. Like, here's a guy that really does not have anything to lose, that can pretty much put it all on the line, especially when you just think about here's where reality mixes in with, right? Because Moose's contract with Impact is supposed to be up in June, and he's pretty much let it be known it'd be pretty awesome if he were to win the Impact World title right before his contract expires and everything. I'm sure he's probably, that's probably his nice little way of telling Impact, hey, look, I'd like to continue to stay with you guys, but where's that commitment? Where's that diamond ring? Come on, let's take this relationship to that next level. If that's his nice way of saying, I want to be the man, yeah, then why not, right? But still, you're looking at what they did there with Sami Callihan, you can't help but kind of wonder exactly, okay, so going forward here, how does Sami Callihan fit into this equation? What exactly is going to be going on here? Are we going to be seeing Sami Callihan come out on, the following week's Impact, and he's going to be crying sour milk because of the interference? And is he going to try to somehow politic his way into having another chance to possibly be the one to face Omega for the championship? Is he maybe going to try to get himself into a triple threat? Or is he just going to keep it real simple, and he's just going to make the lives, particularly of Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, or just that whole little elite thing, is he going to make them pay significantly here? So, you kind of have that that's going into the equation here. Moves coming out of this, though, this was the right move. I've been a fan of this guy for years. Anybody that's checked out any episode of the RCWR show, Impact Showdown, I've always sung the praises of Moose. So the fact that they made this guy the number one contender, just when you follow the storyline right now, just everything that's been going on, not for nothing, but Don Callis has courted Moose a couple of times. And as we know, we as viewers can tell in following the storyline, okay, the real threat is Moose. If you're somehow able to manipulate, control this guy, then you're essentially prolonging Kenny Omega's reign as the Impact World Champion and everything. So the fact that Don Callis has just continuously, off and on these past couple of months, been trying to court Moose when it's convenient, and Moose has pretty much called him on his bullshit every single time. You know, this has been little seeds that's been planted like for months now, and now it's all about Moose. Moose, if you really just kind of follow the storyline here, if you really follow it, after everything that Moose has been through in his career, the great run that was going on when they brought back the TNA championship, and he pretty much was the false champion, but you looked at particularly how he stepped up to the plate. You know, it wasn't really given much, but he made the most out of it. Definitely stepped up to the plate big time when we had that whole bullshit going on with Tessa Blanchard and everything, trying to buy Impact the time they needed to try to figure out how to clean all that mess up and everything. I'm not talking about that controversy with Tessa Blanchard. I'm talking about when she decided, right when pandemic and all that she pretty much didn't want to come back to the US and everything. You know, Moose was a clutch, man. He was Michael Jordan in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes to go. And then everything that was asked, the Moose, man was delivering and then some. So the fact that we're now pretty much at this point, follow the storyline here. My God, if Moose can't get the job done, if he can't succeed where in storyline Rich Swann failed, then who else? I ask you all, who else? Who else? What? Matt Cardona? What? We gonna go with Chris Sabin? Remember how much heat, the great scrutiny that Chris Sabin was under last time? We're gonna go in that. I don't think so. Matt Cardona? Chris Bay? You know, Chris Bay. Yeah, look, Chris Bay is pretty damn good in the ring, but I'm sure that would be a damn good match with Kenny Omega too, by the way. But you know, it seems like all or nothing at all. It seems like now all the chips, everything is on Moose, and it really is coming off when you follow this storyline that Moose is essentially Impact Wrestling's last hope. That he is the great black hope of setting things right in Impact. So, you know, I'm kind of getting my wish, because originally what I really wanted to see go down was Moose taking on Kenny Omega for the Impact and AEW titles. And I actually, you know, I wanted to see Moose get both of those, and then he can, you know, now it's Impact's turn. And, you know, I was kind of hoping maybe we would go in that direction. But the fact that, you know, we're not, and we're going with this instead, you know, it's good. But it's really starting to seem as though Impact is kind of coming to its senses, because everything that's been going on with this AEW Impact storyline so far, it's been very one-sided. And it kind of seems as though now Impact is going, okay, you know what, wait a minute. Second change of heart here, you know, we really aren't, you know, so it kind of seems like they're trying to get back to basics there. So, you know, you can't help but wonder to yourself, well, if and when Moose gets that Impact World title, would that signify the end of this whole AEW versus Impact? Would that be it? Kenny Omega goes back to, but then what's going on with Don Callis? What happens with the Good Brothers? What happens there? Or would they just kind of go back to being exclusive with Impact? You know, what's the deal here? If you ask me straight up, you know, what do I think is potentially gonna happen? I honestly believe we're about to see the end of this whole AEW Impact experiment for the simple fact now that the CDC has said what they said. And you've already got a couple of promotions. Hey, we're getting ready to go back on the road. MLW made their announcement. AEW, made their announcement. WWE just rolled out a video during Friday Night SmackDown talking about how they can't wait to see fans back at the live events again and everything. So I think, honestly, when it's all said and done, you're asking me, for my official thoughts. I'm going on record and I'm saying that with everything going on with Moose now, the guy, the last hope for Impact, I think this whole AEW Impact is going to be wrapped up through Moose. Mark my words on that. But all in all, I would say that for Impact Under Siege, I would say overall pretty good. I would probably give this card a. I would probably give this. Let me just go back and look at these matches again. I would probably give this card a 7 out of 10. I can't go any higher. I can't go any lower. I almost want to go with a 6 out of 10, but I think that's a little too harsh. For me at least, it kind of comes off a little bit unrealistic. So 7. I can't go higher. I can't go lower. 7. So I would say, go out of your way. Check it out when you guys get a chance. And yeah, one pay-per-view down. We got another one to go. We got WWE's WrestleMania Backlash that's going to be going down this Sunday. I'll be live with you guys as soon as that event goes off the air, so tune in for that. That should be a solid show. Looking forward to that. Let's see. Also, not much else has been going on as far as Impact Wrestling news goes. For those of you that missed it, Impact Wrestling Slammiversary. That's officially going to be going down July 17th. Also, it looks as though Impact Wrestling is going to be taping more TV content this coming week. So pretty much like this weekend as we speak, maybe going into this coming Tuesday, Wednesday, they're going to be continuing to fill some stuff for the next couple of weeks. See, other than that, been kind of relatively quiet. Nothing else has really been going on Impact Wrestling news wise. So just that little bit of tidbit of information for you guys. The latest Impact ratings, that's still, let me see something real quick, because I know that Showbuzz Daily was having some issues on their site. And I usually go with Showbuzz Daily for their numbers and all that, but there was something weird going on with their site, and when I say there's something weird going on with their site, like as soon as you land on their, now they might have fixed it by now, but when you tried visiting their site, it basically was giving you the back end to their WordPress. Like if you were to go there right now, basically it reads Showbuzz Daily will be back as soon as possible under reconstruction. So I think, I know a thing or two about websites and all that. As this appears, yeah, it's a WordPress site. I know a thing or two about WordPress sites, and, sometimes when you have your themes and plugins, when you got them all set to just automatically update, sometimes you'll get a weird little bug like what they're experiencing, and then you got to try to figure out, oh shit. Other times it can be an issue with the style page. There could be just one little thing that just fucks the whole thing up. So sometimes through process of elimination, it's really easy to figure out, okay, what's the problem here? Is it a coding issue or is it a plugin issue? If it's a plugin issue, then it's just a matter of deactivating that plugin. You're good to go. But then in other times, if it's a coding issue, then that could that could take a minute, and I think their site's been down since yesterday. But I bring them up because normally these guys are on top of Impact Wrestling ratings. They're like, as far as I know, the only ones that will bring up the ratings for Impact. And right now, it would appear that not yet. There's no ratings for Impact just yet. So hopefully we'll know something by this coming Monday's RCWR show. But in the meantime, that is going to do it. I'm going to stick a fork in this show and I'm going to call it DONE done. Please, if you guys enjoyed yourselves as you make your exit, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit that like, click on the subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss all the content coming your way. Shout out to our Patreon familia. Love you guys as always. Shout out to Wishful Walking Videos. Check him out on YouTube. One more time, shout out to our special sponsor we've been working with these past couple of shows now, and smartbitcoininvestments.com. Make sure if you guys haven't done so already, you definitely show them the ultimate love and check them out. If you are a Bitcoin enthusiast, whether you're a veteran or a beginner and you're trying to just up your game, these guys can definitely help you out. Smartbitcoininvestments.com. They've got an app in the iOS, Android stores. You can get at them all throughout social media as well. Visit their website for all the information, smartbitcoininvestments.com. Appreciate working with them these past couple of shows. All right, so we got one show down. We got another one to go. I'll catch you guys Sunday for our WrestleMania Backlash post show. We'll be live all over the place, so tune in for that. That should be good. Those of you that's going to be waiting for the audio version of this, I'll have it be available for you guys within the next hour. Hopefully the live stream was good. I'll definitely be playing this back, trying to see if you guys had any reverb or anything. But I think whatever issues I was having from last night going into tonight, I think we're good. So I don't know. I don't think I'll need to get a new mixer, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Much love. And until next go around, wishing all y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I'll see you next go around. Adios.